This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, April 29. In Squiz Kids today, Black Rhino Bonanza, America's 12-year-old college graduate, vaccines for Olympic medals, and how dolphins form gangs. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
Her name is Sabi, and despite the fact she's only 7 weeks old, she already weighs 112 kilograms. Thankfully, we're not talking about a human baby, but rather a black rhino. And yesterday, when little Sabi the rhino calf made her first public appearance at Western Plains Zoo in Dubbo, where she was born, there were cheers that could be heard from rhino conservationists all over the world. Sabi is part of a rhino breeding program at the zoo in Western New South Wales. Black rhinos are what's called critically endangered in the wild, which is to say hunters and poachers, who are people who illegally hunt wild animals, have been so active in Africa, where black rhinos live, that the number of black rhinos in the wild has dropped to only 6,000. The rhino breeding program at Western Plains Zoo has been so successful, Sabi is the 15th calf to be born there, and the 4th baby to mummy rhino Bakita. There's a link in today's episode notes to a super cute video of Sabi taking her first mud bath, and a link to a great website about rhino conservation. You're welcome.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in North Carolina, a state in the United States, where a 12-year-old kid has not only just successfully finished high school, but has also graduated from college. College is what Americans call university. It's where people go after school if they want a degree. And while normally people graduate college in their early 20s, young Mike Wimmer has achieved that impressive feat at the age of only 12. Wowzers. A self-confessed robotics fan and a self-described maths and science guy, Mike says he used the lockdowns in the US to take on extra classes and put in extra time in his studies. Gosh, it's all I can do to get my 13-year-old to do an hour of homework. Mike's parents say he got his first iPad when he was 18 months old and taught himself robotics and computer programming by watching YouTube videos. Mike Wimmer, we salute you.
Sport time.
A jab for a shot at a medal. That's the plan for the 2,000 or so Aussies heading to Japan in a couple of months for the Tokyo Olympics. Team Australia, which is all the athletes and officials lined up to travel to Tokyo for the Games, which kick off in July, will receive a COVID vaccine before they travel, it was announced earlier this week. Managing the threat of COVID at a sporting event, which will bring together athletes from all corners of the world, is one of the big challenges organisers face at these upcoming Games. You'll remember the Games were supposed to happen last year, but had to be postponed because COVID. Hopefully they'll go ahead as planned in July. So many athletes from all over the world have spent so many hours training to compete. Fingers and toes crossed, people.
Animal Kingdom.
Did you know that every dolphin has its very own unique whistle? And according to new research, dolphins recognise one another according to those whistles. And they learn those whistles like you and I learn the names of our friends. And then, for the rest of their dolphin lives, they will come to the aid of their friend whenever they hear his or her whistle. Remarkable, huh? It's one of the new findings from a bunch of scientists who have been studying a pod of dolphins in Shark Bay, off the coast of Western Australia. The scientists found that dolphins form friendship groups and will rush to defend one another if ever they are threatened by another sea creature, say, for example, a shark. And they use their whistles to call out for their buddies whenever they need help. Dolphin gangs. It's now officially a thing.
Q&A call out.
Don't forget our next Squiz Kids Q&As with Peter Titmanis, one of the people responsible for the NAPLAN test. Now's your chance to turn the tables and make the examiner answer your questions. About 1 million Aussie kids will be taking NAPLAN tests in the coming weeks. One test in reading, one in writing, one in spelling, grammar and punctuation, and one in numeracy, which is a fancy word for maths. 1 million kids, 4 tests each. That's 4 million tests. Gosh, I'd hate to have the job of marking those. I wonder how many questions that adds up to. Speaking of questions, get yours in for Peter before Monday by emailing squizkids@thesquiz.com.au.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What sort of animal made her first public appearance at Western Plains Zoo in Dubbo yesterday? That's right, she was a black rhino. Question number 2. Tokyo, where the Olympics are due to be held, is the capital city of what country? Yeah, it's Japan. Question number 3. Which marine animal have scientists discovered talk to one another using their unique whistles? You got it. It's dolphins.
Shout outs.
It's April 29, International Dance Day. A day for lovers of dance in all countries around the world to saute, plie, pirouette, crump, twerk, hip-hop and tap their little hearts out. There's a link in today's episode notes to the official website. It's also a special day for these Squiz kids celebrating a birthday today. Kirili from Thornbury, Navia from Blacktown, April from Morningside, Sylvie, Harry and Gigi from Melbourne, Ivy from Kempsey, Harry from Heidelberg, Levi from Forest Lake, Sid from Bentley East and Amelia from Port Stephens. And today's classroom shout-outs go to Class 5ZB at Lane Cove Public School, Class 6 White at Holy Family Primary School in Gowrie, and the Year 6 student leaders at Cannon Hill State School. And a special shout out to Class 3-4E at Rangebank Primary School and their teacher, Miss Moisey, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. And the Grade 5 kids from Beaconsfield Primary School, whose teacher has a birthday today. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out. Squiz Kids is proudly supported by the Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.